the blessings that we have enjoyed since then, Lord, and we just ask that you would continue to allow us to enjoy the freedoms that we have. As we continue into this meeting, Father, we just ask for your guidance, Lord, over each and every decision maker. Lord, we ask that you would help us to make the right decisions that benefit this entire county, both today, tomorrow, and the future, Father. We thank you for those that have gone before us and laid the foundation to bring us here, Lord. And we just ask that you would forgive us of all of our sins. Help us to be alive for you each and every day. In your name we solemnly pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
White, you call the roll, please.
Nathan Sanders.
Here.
Judy Shawn. Here. Chris Singleton.
Here.
Marty Williams.
Here.
Curtis George.
Here.
Eddie Mears.
Here.
Brent Brandon. Randy Gannon.
Here.
Crystal Alexander. Here. Tony Burnett.
Here.
One absent.
Takes us to number 5, approve change agenda. I would like to add approve June 25th, 2026 agenda.
Motion to approve, to add the June 25th, 2026 minute.
Second.
Do I get a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion to approve, second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Takes us to number 6, consent agenda. Approved meeting minutes June 4th, 2026 and June 25th, 2026. Approved. Notaries. The notaries are Colleen S. Boss, I believe, I hope I got that, Kenny R. Gilly, Sandra Henderson, Patrick O. Murphy, Aline Smith, and Elizabeth H. Wilbur.
Make a motion to approve the June 4th minutes and approve the notaries.
Second the motion.
And the June 25th.
Yes.
That's, I got a second already. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Brings us to number 7, a public hearing on amendment to the zoning resolution for prohibiting commercial uses in A1 agriculture zoning districts. I'll open up that public hearing. Is there anybody here that would like to speak for it? Nobody? What about against it? So, if you would come up, state your name, please.
Hello, my name is Melissa Martin. I'm in District 3. And I actually have more than this. Do you want all of it or just
No,
this?
Just
Just this?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Speak up, please.
oh, sorry. Okay. You know, before 2018, when a lot of us moved or lived in this county, there were very few restrictions. And since 2018, it seems like more and more restrictions are coming. And not all of them have been great. And this, in our county, makes it hard for what a lot of us hold dear about this county. This county is special in the fact that it doesn't have a lot of bureaucracy like Murfreesboro and other counties around us. And we haven't really had very much problems with having, commercial businesses run out of this county. I know that there has been some, things that have come up, but I think that we can make little ordinances to make sure we're taking care of our neighbors without having to actually step on everybody at the same time. And, you know, I own 2 businesses in this county, and it's been great until now, and I would think that we would want to maintain that for other people, my children, or your children, or people moving to the area. By putting a lot of bureaucracy in the way, does it really solve much? It doesn't. It isn't. I mean, I think the past kind of proves that. Just because we have 1 or 2 little instances here or there, we should be maybe looking at making something about those instances, protecting neighbors' rights or health concerns or whatever, not a blanket, you know, no C1 in agricultural. I mean, 75% of this county is agricultural. Anyway, that's what I have to say.
Thank you. Anyone else over here? What about here? Over here. Yes, come on, Paul. You would please state your name.
I'd like to say I agree with everything this lady said. My name is Paula Pitts, and I live in Short Mountain Community, 4th District. Grown up in this county, love this county. I've said this before the commissioners meeting. I love this county. Like she said, 75% of our county is agriculture, and we need to keep it that way. If somebody wants to have a small business on their county, they shouldn't have to become commercialized.
That's right.
If that, I don't understand all the process, and I actually was gonna combine my whole thing about everything on the agenda tonight in one thing, but I was told I can't do that. But, so I'll be back up here, I'll just let you know. This county needs to take care of its people, take care of our farmers. I want to pass down my little bit of acreage I have to my grandkids. And if we want to grow a garden and have produce stand, we shouldn't have to be a commercial property.
That's right.
That's right.
Anyone else here? What about in the middle right here? Oh, you don't,
You want me to sit back down? No. Don't point my way, Greg, you know me better than that. Well, I'm Michael George. I guess the first thing I'd like is, do we have any clarification on what this entails?
we will have.
We will have.
How about now, so we can discuss it?
Well, I only ask because, I mean, we've all got an opinion, you know, and I mean, I grew up, my granddaddy was farmer here, my daddy, and I mean, we've grown up here. And I own a business. I mean, I started a business out here to make it feed for animals and wildlife and everything else out here on the farm. I mean, I'm right there at the house. I get it, you know, but also I'm fire chief out here in Moortown. I've been there for 34 years. And part of the zoning for me is on the single wide trailer deal is, y'all, if you ain't been to that house as an EMT or as a firefighter and help put that house out, I mean, I take a lot of pride in my guys. We've saved probably a dozen house trailers over the last 20 years that they could fix it back and live in it, but there's some of them you just can't. But how are we gonna tell them that, look, you know, you lost your, or you move in here to take care of your parents, you know, and you go, okay, but I can't afford a $250,000 home, but I can put in a single wide, but no, you can't, because we don't want that beside so-and-so's $1 million house that they built over there that they own, but you own this right here, but you can't put that there. I guess that's my biggest thing on the house trailer side, it is, some of y'all have been in emergency services, seen what you see, you know, and some people can't, they've done all they can do, and that's all they can do, and that's just part of it. But on the business side of it, I mean, I hope that we're I hope to hear the rest of it, so we'll know. I don't wanna make a judgment call on what I don't know yet, you know, but I hope we do keep to where we can do things as we need to do them to make a living. I mean, mine is farm related, my business is, and I'm using crops that we grow and crops that my neighbors grow, and I'm buying all I can through people in the county as I go, you know, but I am gonna have to subsidize some things from out of this county. So is that gonna throw me into a place to where I can't do that? And I guess my business is growing more and more every week, so I'm kind of concerned on that side of it. But
That's a little over 3 minutes, brother. Appreciate you.
You know I'm fair.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Yes. Sir. Well, this lady here had the next, I'm sorry, but then we'll get you. We'll let you.
At the moment, I don't have any business except agriculture, but this resolution that I'm looking at is so vague that I'm really concerned. I want to see some specifics, otherwise, you know, it's just asking for trouble legally.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir, come on. State your name, please.
My name's John Eubank. I live on Hurricane Creek Road, and I'm speaking against that agricultural ordinance for rezoning. I worked in government for 20 years. I served as a law enforcement officer, and I retired honorably. And I'm a 12th generation Tennessean. And you know, speaking from the soul of a Tennessean and the people that move here, we want a free, small, unlimited government. And I don't envy y'all sitting in this position. I never want to have to sit there and vote on things like this, but I'm telling you, we want to stay free. We want to be able to do what we want to do on our land.
Amen.
Amen.
What's that? Go ahead. It takes your time.
You know, like I said, I speak from the soul of a Tennessean and the people who want to love and live on this land and work this land. We ought to be able to pass it down. We ought to be able to sell lemonade. We ought to be able to bale hay. We ought to be able to do whatever we want to do. That's all I've got. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir. Anybody here? Anybody else here? Come on, sir.
I grew up in Rutherford County. Lived in Florida, lived in Michigan. When I moved back to Tennessee, I moved to Cannon County because it didn't have a lot of rules that other counties had, including Rutherford County. When our ancestors came to this country, they came to get away from a lot of rules. A lot of people telling them what they had to do on their own place, where they had to live, and who they could talk to, and where they could go to church. They came over here and fought the biggest army in the world at that time to get the freedom to do what we wanted to do, to live. As long as we lived and not bothered anybody else, we could do what we wanted to do. And I think that's the way we should be. And I hate to see Cannon County making a lot of rules where you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go there, you can't go here. You can't do what you want to do on your own place. If you can't afford a $400,000 house, all you can do is get a single wide. It's on your property. Shouldn't be having to, your neighbor shouldn't be able to tell you what you can and can't do.
Amen.
That's right.
And then why should you have to not have a home to live in because you can't afford it? Well, that's basically what I got to say.
Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank y'all. My name is Jennifer Stevens. I'm a lifelong resident of Cannon County as well. Amendment to zoning prohibiting commercial. Tennessee has a right to farm. It'd be difficult to farm if you can't sell what you produce. And putting restrictions on selling those farm products basically makes it more difficult for smaller startup farms. You start out, you don't have a 20-foot trailer and tractors and what have you. You sell some of your livestock, they may have to come to you. Right here. And from my research, counties are prohibited from regulating agricultural activities. Wouldn't selling what they produce be a farm activity? We should be encouraging farming instead of making it more difficult.
That's right.
More restrictions is not what we want. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir, come on.
My name's Derek Hatfield. I'm in District 1. I am probably the newest business owner in Canyon County. We got our business license on Friday. Luckily on Tuesday, I found out that there's a good chance that I won't be allowed to have a business anymore. That was quite awesome to let my future employees know. This is where I'm at. Obviously, there's a lot of people here that are opposed to it. And it is the 4th of July weekend. There's even more people who aren't here that would normally be here, but they're on vacation or other things. I would suggest, in my opinion, that if this hasn't already been decided upon and this isn't just a formality thing, that we table this until we can do more research into it, look into it more, figure out, have a town hall meeting, have some type of conversation, because this impacts a lot of people. And it's gonna crush almost everybody in this room. Myself included, I'm brand new. There's a lot of people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment and materials and stuff stored, and they put all their eggs in one basket, and now the basket's just gonna get taken away. That's not fair to anybody. To me, it seems kind of, the irony is about as thick as the air in this room, that we're getting ready to celebrate the 250th anniversary of freedom in our country, as we're talking about losing freedoms in our counties.
Come on over here.
Am I supposed to state my name, address, any of that? Yeah, Lisa Stoll, and you need my address, you said? Oh. Like, I took my line, I'm so mad. But yeah, we're talking about freedoms, and I think it's valid, obviously, that, when you look around the room and there's literally no opposition, or, no approval for this, but, there's a table of 8 or 10 people that are gonna vote for the benefit of the community, and this is the community is saying, we oppose this, but you've got these elected officials. Look, people show up, at 6 o'clock with thunderstorms looming to be at something that affects them. And for me, I'm not from here, but I loved this small town. And some of you may remember me from about a year ago, when this is case in point. I'm zoned A1, and you all denied a commercial zoning in a building that's literally commercial. And so now you're gonna squeeze these little guys out of doing something like, and again, I don't know the background. Maybe if I knew some background here, like, there would be more to have a conversation about. But I think that the two biggest things that you should be discussing is A, we're talking about freedom. It just seems like a government overreach.
Absolutely.
And then B, you represent 200 people. You're making a personal decision, in my opinion, that doesn't benefit the community. Your job is to make decisions for the community, for the county, for the people that are represented here. So that's my 2 cents. I will always have 2 cents, so. use in the face, but, yeah, look around. I mean, this is middle America, like, that you're squashing.
Thank you, ma'am.
My name is Dr. James Bard. My wife and I, we moved here about 8 years ago. And we own a lawn care business. You guys may or may not have seen our trucks around coming through this community. We're in our 6th year. And one thing about what I understand, the very possibility that we cannot, oh, by the way, we live on Burt Lane. But what I understand is a very good possibility that we may no longer be able to have that business. That is our livelihood. Is that a good thing? No, not for us anyway. But one thing I encourage for the people that work for us, the people I talk to about our business, I encourage them to start their own business, especially young people. Start your own business. But am I to say start your own business other than Canyon County? No, I want to be able to say start your business whatever you want to. Do what you want to. And 2 of our employees are high school students here. Am I to tell them they can't work for us no more during your summer break? He's talking about freedom of choice.
Thank you. We'll take this one, we'd like to move on.
My name's Rick. Can everybody hear me? My name's Rick McFerrin. I don't know what district we're in are we in District 1? Thank you.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so I owned a business, in District 1 for 11 years. It was there 14 years before me, so we're going on our 25th year. And looking around this room is packed full of my customers. Everywhere in here. I have one full-time employee who's been with me for 4 years. I have a part-time employee that's been with me for roughly the same amount of time. And my wife and I run this business, and all our eggs are in one basket, like Derek said. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of parts, and if this goes through and we're not able to operate, not sure what we're gonna do. So I am against it. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, sir. All right, thank you. We'll have to move on. Sorry. We'll have to move on. And I know we passed. Anybody want to address this, you want to address this at this time, Patricia?
I had no idea that this was controversial, or I would not have agreed to come up and present this, but I'm on both the planning commission and the zoning board. And obviously, there's been a lot of misinformation. If you have an agriculture operation and live in A1, we have nothing to do with what you do. Absolutely, you cannot regulate agriculture. If you grow, somebody was talking about fruits and you have a fruit stand, that is an agriculture operation. What this is about is, right now, the county allows commercial operations in agriculture zones if you get a special exception, okay? The reason why we're bringing this to you, ladies and gentlemen of the commission, is because our state changed the zoning regulations very quietly, and they took away a lot of the zoning's ability to make their own decisions and to listen to the citizens. Okay. Zoning in this state is regulated by section 13.7103 of the Tennessee Code. And it says, such regulations shall be designed and enacted for the purpose of promoting the health, safety, morals, convenience, order, prosperity, and welfare of the present and future inhabitants of its counties. So that is in the law, and it still says it's in the law. So what they changed was the Board of Zoning Appeals powers. The Board of Zoning Appeals used to have some wide latitude, and we used to listen very carefully to the citizens. We have a public hearing right before applications are reviewed. And I was the one that was responsible for getting things, signs in yards, because I believe when you live in a county and you, in your neighborhood, if you have something to come up, you deserve to be notified and to come to the hearing, and if you're for it or against it, you have the right to speak. Well, what happened when they changed the zoning? They added 11 new paragraphs, but the two most serious paragraphs are: the ordinance must include specific and objective standards by which special exceptions are evaluated. And number 2, a request for a special exception must not be denied on the basis of health, safety, and general welfare of the community. Unless, and this is what I'm here for to talk about, unless it is clearly defined in the resolution, which is our zoning resolution. You'll hear it called ordinance, we call it a resolution. So the Planning Commission makes recommendations. They're the ones that develop the zoning plan, but the governing body is this group right here. They're the ones that approve the original one and the changes. So we as a Planning Commission, when we realized that unless every different type of commercial business, let me give you an example. Event venues, that would be one category. Gun ranges, that would be another category. What we have to do now, for the benefit of the county, is to put in that resolution, like for wedding events, event venues, everything is going to be listed in there that we look at. So people that are putting in an application know what they have to, the material that they have to come forward with. The way this current is written, and I had to verify this by our attorney over there, because I personally can't believe this is the truth, but it is. We can have a public hearing before somebody who has an application for a commercial business in agriculture, and I can have this many people, and we have had this many people show up, and you're gonna be able to talk and say anything, and whether you're for it or against it, but the zoning board cannot make a decision based upon anything you've said, unless we put it in the ordinance. So, when the Planning Commission met, and this was in May, we have a planner from Upper Cumberland that works with the county, and he and I, and by the way, if you have any questions, Facebook is not the place to go for answers. This gentleman right here, Luke, and he will be more than happy to give you his number. He is your employee here that has all the answers for what is really going on. So, what the Planning Commission agreed to was, what's the best way we can do it? Understanding that the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board are volunteers. Nobody's paid. So the Planning Commission has put together a special subcommittee to do all of this work, which is gonna be done by Luke and the volunteers. So,
Excuse me, let her speak.
okay, so what we are asking the commission to do, this is a big job, and it's going to take a while. We are asking the county commission to, and I'll say exactly the way it's, that they prohibit C1 commercial uses in A1 agriculture until the Board of Zoning Appeals criteria is established and approved by the county commission. So we are.
Excuse me, would you please let the lady speak? Nobody interrupted anybody when everybody else speaks. Please let her speak.
We are anticipating on the long end that it could be 6 months. If we can get it done before that, and we can get the commission to approve it, now, personally, it would be a lot easier for the zoning board and the planning commission if they gave us more latitude. We don't have more latitude. We don't have more latitude. the only way that we can protect this county from things coming in that will negatively affect everybody, and I don't think I need to outline what I'm talking about, is if we have objectives in there that clearly outline what, if you do bring something, this is what you're gonna be evaluated by. And I am gonna recommend that in every single area that we are allowed to take public comments into consideration.
Yes.
So, I know that it's going to be, for anybody that wants a commercial operation right now, we just need time. We need time to do this, to get it in so that it's outlined, we meet the statute. Because right now, the statute is holding the planning commission and your commissioners accountable for enacting zoning that promotes the health, safety, morals, convenience, and welfare of present and future inhabitants of its counties. But your zoning board can't do that. They've taken away the control unless these objectives are met. So, commission, this is what the planning commission is asking. If we can get it done before 6 months, we will get it done. But I see no reason why we can't get it done. It'll be a good product, and you'll have it in plenty of time to review it. You will have another public hearing. But that is the recommendation of the planning commission, is that we hope until we can address what our state legislature, how they change zoning. So, but I do wanna, there was a lot of people here for agriculture. I grew up on a tobacco farm. Spent my entire childhood and teen years raising tobacco. One of 8 children. We were the workforce. I understand agriculture. And I know it is the backbone of this county. We have nothing to do with regulating agriculture. And the woman that said that we can't is exactly right. We are talking about commercial properties, and when you sell agriculture, that's not considered for zoning a commercial property. A commercial property is something that, like I said, event venues, firing ranges, we've had some other things. I can't think right now, but
Electricians, plumbers, general contractors.
Excuse me,
we
let her,
haven't really,
She's addressing.
let her speak.
okay. So,
Let her speak though, I mean.
so anyway,
She gave
I
respect.
will answer any questions that you have. I do know that what appeared on the agenda was a little misleading because it didn't say that it was a time specific, but we don't plan on leaving commercial out of this county. But we just need because any commercial that has to come to us is usually done in an A1 district. And as far as I know, and I've been involved in this since 2018, I don't think we've ever had an electrician or a plumber or anybody come. So,
a special exception.
right, for a special exception. And this county does not go out looking for problems. No, they don't. We don't have his job, and before him was David Robinson. They don't go out looking for problems. Now, if your neighbors say something's going on, then he has to go out. But, so if you have any questions,
I have a couple.
yes.
Okay, so we've established this does not affect any farming activities whatsoever.
None,
Buying, selling, anything that affects a farm, this does not affect it.
right.
Does it affect lawn care services or businesses like that people are operating out of their homes?
That's a good question. Luke?
Yes, they just gave an exception to it.
Good.
As a lawn care business, just be
Just a
honest.
minute,
I don't
Commissioner Sanders,
know.
hang on
Let's not
till
do
the
that.
agenda item, and you can ask her all questions you want to. A public hearing really is what it says, it's a public hearing.
Right offhand, I would say if you are going to run a small business out of an agriculture zone, and that would be a commercial, but am I right about that?
If it's done within the confinements of the home, so say you have a lawn care service business,
you don't advertise, or you don't bring debris back to the property and burn it there, 'cause that's considered agricultural. You can
Okay.
remain in the A1 without,
Okay.
those,
I don't know, yes, okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll get to it.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Patricia.
All right.
Thank you so much. We'll close that public hearing. We'll open up number 8, public hearing on amendment to the zoning resolution to allow single-wide mobile homes in agriculture zoning districts. Anybody will speak forward? I'll get you, Dan. Thank you.
Paula Pitts again. I live out in the county. Grew up in a single wide. When I was 15, my parents got a double wide. Still live in that one. Like I said earlier, if my grandkids want to live on that property that I'm working hard to save for them, and they want to put a single wide on it, because the economy is not going to allow middle-class people to afford the homes that some of these builders are building in this county.
Amen. Right.
So our middle-class families need to be able to live somewhere. And if they want to put a single wide on that property, or if they want to put a shack on it, we ought to be able to without any kind of regulations.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Danny, come on.
Danny Shields, live at 2545 Eugene Reed Road. I have lived in Cannon County since 1988. And I've lived on an active dairy farm. My ex-father-in-law and brother-in-law run it for years till they got in bad health and couldn't run it anymore. Now they got it leased out. Of course, my ex-father-in-law's dead and gone. But my nephew has got it leased out to do soybeans and corn, stuff like that right there. I myself have been involved in the trucking industry for 38 years. I have seen Cannon County grow in ways that if somebody had asked me 25 years ago that if it could grow that way, I would have laughed at them. Mr. Burnett, you're one of them, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, and I live in a single wide, okay? I make decent money, okay? But I wanna keep part of my decent money. I don't wanna have to go out here and give $500,000, $600,000 for a home because the Joneses have got one next door to me and don't want my single wide. What they do is their business. What I do on my land is my business. I'm not gonna tell them what they can and can't do, and I don't expect anybody else to be able to tell me what I can and can't do. Like I said, a $500,000-$600,000 home, if you look it up right now, the average home loan is anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000 a month. I don't make anywhere near that, and I don't think there's many people in here that does. What I have is mine. I have worked hard for it. And I don't feel like somebody should be able to tell me because my home is old that it can't have it. I don't feel like that they should be able to tell me if I decide to upgrade my home that I have 60 days or I can't put a home on. Like I said, my land is my land. It's none of nobody else's business. And that's what I got to say about it.
Thank you, Dan.
Well, hi, guys. I'm probably going to leave here and a bunch of people are gonna be extremely angry at me. But that's good because we live in the United States and God bless America and happy birthday, America, that, you know, we all have freedom of speech as well as freedom of opinion. My opinion is allowing single whites in the county is not a good idea. And I will tell you why it's not a good idea. because the person who owns the land that is right next door to that single wide, their land is gonna go down in value.
It's not true.
Because
That's not true. It's not true.
Let her speak, please. Please.
For 10+ odd years, I worked in a real estate position. And I dealt almost exclusively with mobile homes. So I am aware of how it's working. I'm not saying that you can't have a mobile home and it'd be absolutely gorgeous, because I have seen them be absolutely gorgeous. I'm just saying that because we didn't have restrictions prior to this, that's how we got our Rockport. You know, and that's why we're having to deal with Rockport. So if we don't restrict and put rules in place, there's no telling what's gonna go next door to you, or to you, or to any of you. And then you'll be up here saying, why didn't Greg stop it, or, you know, why didn't the commission stop it? I wish you all luck.
Thank you.
Y'all don't mind? I ain't got a clue what district I'm in, really don't care what district I'm in.
Speak up.
It's fine now. The lady, I respect your opinion, I do. To say God bless America, everybody needs to understand, government and God are two different things. God gave us this land to take care of as we see fit, right? I don't care how much money your house is worth, I can care less. You want a big fancy house, look down in Murfreesboro somewhere.
There you go.
Here in Cannon County, we have roofs that run deep. Okay, and if it's about money, go to California, go to New York, hell, go somewhere else. But leave us alone. And for the lady who said a while ago, if all we're doing is blowing smoke when we get up here, if we have no say-so, we're all just sitting here. Well, 1776, we're fixing to celebrate an anniversary coming up, right? The people got to stand up against crap like this right here. If you don't stand up against it, nobody's going to. That's the reason everybody in here is here, right? I don't care if you got $1 in your pocket or $1,000 in your pocket. I love you and God loves you. Stand up for what's yours.
Thanks, Jay.
It's me again, I'm back. So I am for the single wide mobile homes without any exceptions in A1. I feel like in today's economy and society, you're taking away the American dream of home ownership from our young families. I mean, when you're making them not be able to purchase and they have to rent, that puts them that much further behind. Because renting is more, you know, it's just not realistic for the young to be able to go out and buy or purchase a $300,000 home. It's just not, it's not realistic. So if you have children, you have grandchildren, you know, they need to have an opportunity to get there. And they shouldn't have to go and say, oh, please, let me put my single wide over here because that's the only thing I can afford. You know, and that takes more time, more money, and for what? I mean, it's the country. You move to the country, you expect. That's what we do. We honor each other. And whether it's a $600,000 home or a $20,000 trailer, that person deserves as much dignity as the person in the $600,000 home.
My name is Carly Adams. I live on Stewart Lane, Vertical. I'm sorry if my voice is changing, kind of nervous, I've never done this before. But I'm freshly 18, my grandmother's had about 100 acres for the last, 30 years? And we lived in a trailer. I don't make enough to be able to afford this nice home that all these people are building. I also don't make enough to pay for rent because rent is sky high right now. It would benefit me to be able to get a single wide trailer on my property, but from what I'm understanding, I'm not gonna be able to do that. So I'm gonna have to live with my mother, and I really don't wanna do. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
My name is Ruby Johnson. I live, like I said, on Stewart's Lane in Brandon. And I bought my land. I should be able to do what I need to do on my land. It doesn't make any difference what anybody else wants, the neighbors want, or anything else. I paid for that. There's no reason that I should be told what I can and cannot do on my land.
That's right. That's right.
It's been a hard road to pay for my land. And I don't expect for y'all to sit up here and tell me I can't. That is ridiculous. We live in America. We don't live overseas where they're told what they can do and what they can't do. And I expect to be able to do what I need to do or what I want to do on my land. I'm not bothering anybody else. I don't bother the neighbor, I don't bother anybody in town. I own my own property. Don't bother nobody. And I desperately do not see why y'all can sit up here and tell me what I can and cannot do. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Jennifer Stevens, District 1, perhaps say that one. For the mobile homes, absolutely it should be allowed. Absolutely. Nobody should have to go before a board or a committee or whoever and say, oh, can I please put a trailer on my property because I can't afford a $700,000 house? Nobody should have to do that. Sure, yeah, you need your septic tank and all that kind of good stuff. It's been so long since I had it done, I can't even remember what all I had to do. But it's crazy. I lived in a single wide mobile home while I was saving and while my house was being built. That it saved me a tremendous amount of money to be able to do that, to be able to put, that was before all this bull crap came out. So basically, neighbor actually moved it on there with the John Deere tractor. So got it set up, fixed up, where it broke the sheetrock, and I lived there for close to 5 years. Me and my 3 kids, and my husband. During that time, working toward that house, got that house started and built, moved in which, but what's wrong with living in it? I didn't particularly care for that one because it was older and of course I had 3 kids in it, so, you know, that's kind of horrible. But absolutely, nobody should be able to tell anybody what they do on their property. If I want to have 15 rusty cars in my front field, I should be able to go out and have it. If I want my grass waist high, I should be able to have it. Right now, some of it is. But, you know, I'm saving the butterflies and the, you know, bees. And every once in a while, I turn my cows in the yard with me. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna take this in one folder and have to move on.
Derek Hatfield, District 1. I figured since I'm here, I might as well get my money's worth. So here's where I'm at on this, and I'm confused because I'm a transplant. So we've lived here in this community for about 10 years. We love it. We chose Canyon County over Sumner County or Wilson County or Davidson County because of all of their restrictions and because of all of their rules and how meddling they were. That was one of the biggest appeals to come here. It's bad enough that since I bought my house, my property values have been assessed 2 or 3 times, and the values have gone up, the taxes have gone up. I paid more, but I never made more off my house because I still own it. But the crazy part to me is I pay property taxes, I'm up to date on everything, but yet it feels almost like we're in an HOA where somebody else gets to come in and tell me, hey, you can do this, you can do that. No, I don't like that. You need to move this. I don't, the whole point of most of the people why we moved to Canyon County was for that freedom. I understand if there's somebody that has a huge tiger pit and they're burning it all the time. That's a different issue. If you want to set up individual ordinances and stuff like that, that's one thing. But these blanket ordinances and blanket rules and blanket judgments, it's against what everybody is trying to do.
Hi, Nancy Wolf. I'm also a transplant with my husband here. And we came from Pennsylvania where township took over so many regulations. You wouldn't believe what we paid on taxes for what we got for our taxes. We got nothing. Down here, we moved here, the taxes are great. I had no problem with a single wide trailer to the realtor that said a single wide's gonna make the taxes or the value of the homes go down. I don't think so. I would much rather live next to a single wide trailer. We have 18 acres and a big house. So we're not in that situation. But if you're gonna regulate that somebody can't have a single wide, or are you gonna step up and are you gonna go after the people that live in a small house that has trash all over their front yard? Vehicles, I mean, you can't regulate single wide and ignore people that are bringing other property values down because of the trash and such laying around. It's just not fair, and you're gonna start regulating the hell out of it. I'm sorry to say that, but it's not right, so.
Don't give them any ideas.
Please, let's have order.
A single wide.
I'm gonna have to move on, we're gonna move on from here. We're gonna close the public comment period.
Mr. Singleton, wanted this amendment back to the, planning commission. I believe it was 2 commission meetings ago. And there was a vote, the commissioners voted to kick it back. They wanted a recommendation from the planning commission to allow single wides in the A1 zone. Here we are now, the recommendation's before you. I know there was mentioned something about, age limit or whatever. It's up to the board to decide if you want to do that. It's up to you. But you've got your recommendation here from the planning commission.
Thank you, sir. We're gonna close the we're gonna close the public hearing, I'm sorry. Brings us to number 9, public comment period. I know a lot has done commented under the public hearing, and I think because of confusion of the new law. New law we have is head down from the state. It used to be that you could speak on things that was on the agenda. Well, the new law says that you can do on the agenda or non-agenda items. I see a lot here that's already spoke, so I'm gonna go down through here and see if you're done but I'm gonna limit it to about at least a couple of minutes. Jan Baxter, are you done?
I have one question. Is it okay to ask it now?
No, it's just a public comment period, really not answer a question and answer time. But you can comment.
I'm curious as to whether the people that have commercial businesses on agricultural land now, whether they have to stop work until this all gets settled, or whether they can continue as they are.
They're all grandfathered in, if they're legal commercial use now.
They continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Jason Cherry. Where
One
you at?
question, you said a couple of things about this coming down from the state and our
Yes.
legislators. Well, I can talk to
This
you.
new public comment, yes.
Yeah, well, all I'm asking is, where's our state legislator? If this is coming from the state, where the hell is it?
I don't know, that's just.
Well, I mean, that's the point. We're fighting against stuff that our state's doing. Where is he? Where is our representative?
Now that I can't tell you.
Well, the county commission mayor, make them come into these. That's what this is for. They don't get to sit up there in Nashville and not do a damn thing about it. just
Well,
because
wait a
they
minute,
want to
whoa,
do
whoa, sir. What I'm saying is a public comment period, they passed a law, you can speak on agenda items and non-agenda items.
Well, I'm speaking.
That's what, actually, they helped you.
Who?
They helped you, really. Before you couldn't speak on non-agenda items, but now you can.
But she was just saying a minute ago that they were saying that they could not listen to our voice.
Now, I'm not speaking on that, I'm speaking on the public comment period.
Oh, well, it's all mixed up. I can't really tell where this is all going. But either way, if we got issues with the state, they need to be here during these meetings.
Well,
Because this is ridiculous.
then you need to talk to your state legislator.
Well, that's what we're all here for.
He's got
You
no,
guys are, you
he's
guys
got,
are county.
he's got no, thank you,
You
sir.
guys are county.
Paula, you done, or you wanna go again?
Just call me Margaret. You know, the song. It's me, Margaret again. I think this is an agenda item. I hope I'm getting this right, because I was gonna combine them all three earlier. I'm gonna be a senior one day. Praise God, I hope so, I do. I think we need to help our seniors in this county. We've got a lot of older folks in this county that lived on fixed incomes, and whatever the state says that we should allow their income to be, we need to approve that, and we need to help them out all we can.
Thank you, ma'am. Ruby Johnson, are you done, ma'am?
Well, I pick up on hers as much as what we, oh, excuse me.
All right.
I'm gonna pick up off the lady said that, we've paid our dues. We put our money into Social Security, but now we get penalized on about everything. And, you know, we need a little bit of help with not paying all these taxes that's coming along. Get ours froze to where it don't continue on and on and on and on. 'Cause our budget don't continue on. Our checks don't continue on. What little bit they give us, they take away on another part. So, my thing is, freeze our taxes, it'll help us out just a little bit.
Thank you, ma'am. Zach Cherry? Zach Cherry? If you did, I know you're holding your hand, did you sign up on public comment? Yeah, I'll get two, if your name's on here. Hang on, please.
All right. Actually, just listen to everything. I'm kind of shooting from the hip right now, but, there's one thing that is definitely coming right now. Just kind of think, watching the news, kind of just seeing everything that's happening. Anybody that's kind of paid attention to finances at any point, since 1913, this country's dollar has been devalued about 98%. Talking about new home ownership. New homeowners right now, on average median new price, for a house right now is about $420,000. Average new homeowner is 40 years old. So I think restricting type of housing people can go to is going to be very detrimental long-term when you look at that side of it. But there's also other things coming up in the near future. We're seeing gas prices kind of go down a little bit right now, but anybody you watch talk about this right now in the fall, it's going to go up immediately. I mean, huge amount. The average commuter in this county is about 45 minutes to go to work. That's going to be highly detrimental as well for folks coming forward. So one thing I'll say is I think the beauty of Cannon County, I've been here about 20 years. The beauty has been the lack of regulation in that regard. Allow people the freedom to do what you want to do. I see a future coming up very soon where that's going to become more and more important. With the AI revolution coming up soon, the way that small towns have been gutted in the past with manufacturing going overseas, the AI is going to have that same effect on the cities, and suburban areas. So I think what Cannon County needs to look at is how do we make ourselves a beacon on the hill for those entrepreneurs that want that opportunity to do something from the start, to come in and have that opportunity that won't be available in a lot of other areas. Places like Murfreesboro and Nashville are gonna have a real hard go of it, I believe, in the near future. Places like Cannon County, I believe, actually can be a beacon for people to come in and with hard work, with dedication, is to do things. And I know there's gonna be a lot of solutions coming up, and I'd like to see the citizens of this county be part of that solution, part of that idea generation that we're gonna need, and not an enemy to the government.
Thank you, sir.
So, I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Exactly right, and this county needs the revenue off of all of this.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Josh Stansberry, I believe is what this says.
I've heard what that means.
You good? Okay. Derek Hart, is that Hatfield or Hartfield?
So can I just ask a clarifying question, because I'm about to the gentleman over here?
Go.
Okay, perfect.
You're Derek.
Derek Hatfield, first time.
Uh-huh.
Sir, did you say earlier that all of the corporations would be grandfathered in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what about all of the people that are in double wide, single wides, are they also grandfathered in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my next question is why wasn't that information led with? Because all of these people are here because they're freaking out because they think they're gonna lose their businesses, they think they're gonna lose their homes. That's why there was such a massive turnout with so much volatility, because everybody thinks they're about to lose everything. If we would've known, hey, we're grandfathered in from here back and going forward to protect ourselves, those are two completely different conversations. That's all I have.
Jerry Taylor, are you done, sir, or you want to speak again?
I grew up largely on a farm. I've been working ever since before I'm old enough to go to school. Now, I went through 2 divorces, and I'm retired on Social Security mostly, and my taxes keep going up every year, except in election years. And I can't afford it. We need to have some kind of relief for the ones that's retired especially, and everyone else in the county, really. I think we should consider that before we go to spending too much money instead of spending it wisely. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anthony V, I got. Anthony V.
Well, I'm gonna come on. So I just want to address the first issue because I'm not sure exactly, when we came here, it's a little bit vague and it's a little bit disconcerting for a lot of people. And I believe that the agricultural protection, what they were trying to do is to give us more of a voice because it's been taken away. So everyone who is maybe against, and I'm not in favor or against it because I don't know enough, but I just wanted to say that what they're trying to do is protect the agricultural nature of this community because there are voices to oppose like biohazardous waste dumps being plopped in our own neighborhood. Protecting that what's going next to you. If everything's allowed to be an A1 exception, you have no restrictions on what can be next to you, what kind of neighbor you could get. And for all intents and purposes, there needs to be guidelines because our voices were taken away from us the first time around. So don't necessarily think that this very first agenda item is a bad thing. And while a lot of everybody here felt like the spirit of Cannon County was gonna be lost, I feel like it's complete opposite. That's my personal opinion. I feel like a lot of the properties, the things that you do in agriculture will be protected rather than put at risk for an ambiguous A1 exception being pushed through and approved, and then before you know it, you got a landfill on your road. And trust me, I know firsthand. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. John. I can't really make this out. John?
Eubank, E-U-B-A-N-K.
That's it.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, I read like a third grade.
I do too.
Like I said, I'm John Eubank. I live on Hurricane Creek Road. Like I said, I worked for the government for 20 years. I sympathize with all of you, and the public service workers, I understand. But I want to address a few things, in regards to the comments, and I respect everybody's comments. Everybody has the right to their own opinion. But, you know, I'm obviously for agriculture. I live on a fairly decent sized farm, but agriculture has nothing to do with wanting to be free on your own land. Yeah, I don't want agriculture to be inhibited on by an ordinance any more than I want my freedom to run a business off of the land that I purchased to be inhibited by an ordinance. Freedom goes both ways. It doesn't just matter if you're a farmer. It matters if you own a piece of land and you want to run a tree business out of it. You want to run an excavator business out of it. Land clearing. It doesn't really matter. And grandfathering in, I appreciate the grandfathering clause because a lot of people be protected, but it only goes so far.
Come on, that's right.
What if you own a piece of land and your children want to be an entrepreneur and start something and your intention is to pass it down to them? Well, that possibly could inhibit their ability to be a productive citizen of the county. And also, the TCA or the new zoning exception that she mentioned, it didn't have anything in there about prohibition. It didn't prohibit you from having a commercial permit or whatever on your property. And I'll say this, going forward, you know, you need to think about everybody in the county, but look at the people in the room. I'm just about to wrapping up, but the people in the room are the biggest employer in this county seems to be the self-employer and how we pay. So I would say write your resolution with the people and the freedom in mind. So don't write it so specific that you end up busting generations down. Write it with the intent to promote and help business in people. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Marissa, you done? You wanna go ahead? 2 minutes, please.
So the first thing that I would like to say, Melissa Martin, third time up here. Anyway, what I would like to say is going back to the commercial in A1, you're asking for 6 months. Well, we've been like this for however many years we've been incorporated. What's wrong with leaving it the way it is until 6 months from now when it's in place? So that's my first thing on that. So I don't see a point in putting something into place until we actually have what needs to be put in place and can be voted on at that point. That's one. The other thing is, I already said what I had to say about the single wides, but the last part I had to say is that I support establishing a property tax freeze for eligible senior citizens. This isn't for every senior, only those who qualify and genuinely need the assistance. Many of our seniors live on fixed incomes while healthcare costs and everyday expenses skyrocket. They have spent decades working, paying taxes, and building this community. They should never have to worry about being taxed out of their homes they worked their entire lives to own. I have said it before and I'll say it again, before asking taxpayers for more, the county must carefully scrutinize its budget. Question high-cost line items and look for ways to operate more efficiently. If, after doing that due diligence, a small tax adjustment is truly necessary to protect our most vulnerable seniors, then that is a conversation we should be having.
Thank you. Randy, you going to do it? You done? Yeah.
Well, it's like everybody has said so far, and like I said the last meeting, you know, I'm 58, I'll be 58 my birthday. I'll be a senior before too long. And like I said, I make decent money, but when I start drawing my social security, that decent money's gonna go to half. Okay? Property taxes right now, they're decent. But who's to say by the time I get 68, when I can actually sign up, what the property taxes are gonna be? Am I gonna be able to afford them? I think it needs to be pros now. My mother-in-law owns the place where I'm staying, you know, and she is a senior, she's 82 years old. She's on, you know, she draws social security, she was a veteran, you know, I just think it needs to be pros.
Thank you, sir. Jennifer Stevens.
A lot of the seniors in this county built this county, and they deserve a break. We look around and we hear of people becoming homeless more and more and more. You've got a senior citizen that's worked, they paid off with school taxes. How about this? How about we cut the taxes for seniors paying into the school fund and let the parents pay for the kids? That would cut some of their taxes. If they have took care of this county and a lot of us, and they've paid their dues in all these years, and it's time to give them a break. So please, vote yes, and not for some 38,000 limits. That's piddling. That's piddling.
Thank you. Cassie Goff.
So we need another AC in here. I think you asked a question earlier about lawn care businesses. They are affected. I know whatever Luke said, he made our neighbor get a commercial exception who has a pickup truck and a trailer, 2 lawnmowers on the back. So y'all can be the judge. Does that sound commercial? I mean, it is, the point is, it's up to their discretion. If you're a farmer and you're engaged in selling anything on your property, it's up to their discretion. If they bring you in here in front of the board, they could very well say, no, this is commercial. And then you're stuck in litigation, spending all your money just to prove that you were right in the first place. I mean, we've made it this long, 190 years with no zoning. Warren County has no zoning. DeKalb has no zoning. How are they making it? Without a zoning board to dictate everything we do. We're the landfill that got it. It's organic tree race. We run a tree service, like I asked. What do you want us to do? Bring it right here in the middle of the city limits? Because that's where the commercial property is. So we thought, out in the county's better. If our neighbors had a problem with what we were doing, they could always approach us. They chose not to. So we challenged the county. We weren't challenging our neighbors. We heard what they said.
30 seconds.
We have not been given the opportunity to do the right thing, but we're gonna do it on our terms and not with the government's hand up our ass, making us do it.
Josh Goff.
So, okay, I'm Josh Goff. I'm sure that I'm the reason why this is being proposed. Don't want to be embarrassed for round 2, right? So, my problem is, if you guys try to pass this, at what point, what are the qualifications going to be for grandfathered in? Because everything that I did, the goalposts kept getting moved back further and further and further. So just because we, as business owners, already have an established business, what about my kids? What about the neighbor who has a farm, money kind of tight, taxes keep going up, I need to supplement my income some other way? What are they supposed to do? Go get a job at Walmart? What do they want to do themselves? That's their land. They should be able to make their decisions. Some of us didn't go to college and get a degree or whatever, in some kind of useless degree. We just wanted to work for ourselves. So you guys limiting us to doing certain things or putting restrictions on it this way, that way, whatever. They're gonna be too strict, and if they're not too strict, they'll move the goalpost every single time, just like they did with me. That's what the plan is here. And remember too, business owners here in this county, we supply lots of tax money, lots of tax revenue in this county. If you upset us, we can't run our business here. Either we'll go someplace else, or we'll just stay here. And maybe we want to accrue the fines of $300 for the year and have you guys suffocate because you can't pay the bills. You work for us. We don't work for you. So don't upset us. We're the ones here that are keeping the lights on. So.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, I think 4373 Lock Creek Road.
First thing thing I'm gonna do is, have you guys buy a new microphone though, because that thing's worthless. So as a whole, guys, I worked in government most of my adult life. And what I've realized is the smaller the government can be, the absolute better. Right? I have not seen government get involved in absolutely anything and it work out better long-term, ever. Been doing this for 30 some odd years now, never has gotten better because the government's involved, right? What I really want to comment on though is this meeting was ran absolutely, completely in the strangest order I've ever seen, right? You got to introduce something. No one even knew what they were talking about for the first 30 minutes. That's completely ridiculous. What got sent out should have actually had a breakdown of the intent of this meeting, not some random vague concept, so people actually knew what they were talking about when they showed up. That's not acceptable. That is not an acceptable government platform. And you all know that. That's not how we run business in anything. You don't show up and talk, and then what are we talking about? Oh, I'll find out after I talk. That's ridiculous. Fix that. As a whole, everyone, if they were here for the zoning exemption for me, I was super popular. I run a gun range. At the end of the day, it's not any of y'all's business what anyone does, whether it's a single wide trailer or a business in general. And I understand the concept that corporations can come in and do the same thing. I get that. But at the end of the day, government doesn't equal freedom in any portion of this country ever, ever. All right, so understand that, all right, please.
Thanks, sir. Okay. All right, John Taylor. This is Lane.
I'm gonna keep this short. I asked him to put me last tonight because I wanted to make sure that everybody that wanted to can speak, and you needed to hear from them a lot more than me. You already know how I feel about this, about all three issues, so I'm not gonna belabor that. I appreciate everyone who came out and talked, because your voice is what's important.
Thank you. I'll close the public comment period, and we'll go number 10, old business table items. I have none. 11 is for information only. I'm just supposed to tell the commission that Michael D. Bailey it was appointed Commissioner of Cannon County for Middle Tennessee Natural Gas Utility District. No action needed. That's just for information only. Number 12 is consideration of amendment to the zoning resolution to prohibit commercial uses in A1 zoning districts. Do I have a motion?
Before I make a motion, did you say that this needs to come back to the planning commission?
He's a planning commission that is going to do it.
So we don't really need to do anything until the planning commission goes back and gets it right.
Now, what she's asked, what the planning commission's asking to put a pause on it, what they're asking.
Pause on commercial and agriculture until we can get everything in the resolution that allows, according to the new law. We as all the other counties were completely unprepared for these changes, so.
So were we.
I'm sorry, what?
So were we.
I know, absolutely, I understand.
Yeah, do I have a motion?
I have a question. With the vagueness of this, the way it's written, can this be tabled? Can this be rewritten and represented where it's more clear to the outline, the time frame?
We can do anything in the commission, y'all are.
Well, I would like to make a motion that this be tabled for at least 60 days until there's a new commission, because there's no sense in this commission going about this when every one of us could be, different people sitting in these seats. And it needs to be more clear and a time frame presented.
That's your motion.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second to that?
Second.
I got a second down here. Any discussion?
This needs to go back to the planning commission, in my opinion. And the planning commission needs to review this and have a public hearing or whatever they need to have so that people can voice their opinion like they have here tonight. But we need something written out to exactly, not this vague. We need something written out that says what we can do and can't do or whatever. Because there's people that, from what I understand, that thinks that they can't have a fruit stand or they can't park their dump truck in their yard. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, is that not the furthest from the truth? I mean, we're not trying to do that. So, yeah, I think it needs to go back to planning commission. They need to do their job and then present it back to the commission.
The motion is to table, ain't got to say any more discussion. Would y'all like to suspend the rules and
Sure, I have a question. So if we vote to table this, what are we gonna do for the request to come in the meantime?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What are we gonna do for the request to come in the meantime? If we table it. The new laws went into effect July 1, is that right, Ms. Long? So these laws are in effect, so I'm guessing need some direction from us, right?
Correct. As far as what is in agriculture, what is in, commercial, it's all outlined already in the resolution, in our zoning resolution, it's all outlined.
But what was presented to us, ma'am, it says all commercial uses. And there is great confusion, even with the statements you made, that you're saying the event centers, and you have to have an entire list. I understand that the state has sent this down, but those things need to be presented for us to make an informed decision.
But that's what we're gathering. We don't.
But how do we in good conscience suspend people from their livelihoods and those type of things on 3 words that's on this paper that's being asked of us tonight?
We're not suspending any current businesses. Well, what we're saying is that because the statute changed, and if somebody brings a commercial operation that is a landfill, we do not have the ability to say no.
It's already in the ordinances.
Maybe that was bad, whatever. I don't know, Luke, maybe you can give me a.
Yeah, but Patricia's saying any commercial use that comes through the planning department, my office, under the current zoning ordinance, would have to be approved. So we're gonna put a pause, the intent is to put a pause on special exceptions till we develop the criteria that the state requires us to have. That way we can consider public comment period in our decisions. Because right now, anything that goes before the board of zoning appeals has to be approved.
Tricia, does this mean that we could possibly be out of compliance with state law if we don't visit this?
You know, what the decision is that the county is not going to update the resolution to have all the standards by which an application will be evaluated. As Luke said, is that any commercial application that came in, because there are no objectives in there, we do not have the ability to listen to the public, and it would just be automatically approved.
There's a reason for that.
Excuse me, ma'am.
And this really is.
It's commission time.
I think that it is a benefit to the public, because you know what is going to be, what you need to come in with. And it's the commission's final, which I'm assuming you'll have another public hearing. What the planning commission doesn't have public hearings on this. According to statute, it's just you all. You'll have another public hearing once all these are out. And, you know, we can't start working on it until you approve, that this.
How long do you need?
We are asking for 6 months, it's only because we don't have anybody that we can hire to do it. It's done by volunteers and 1 staff person. I wish I could tell you we could do it in 60 days, but.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah. Commissioner Taylor.
I still have a question, and maybe it's an unknown, but let me ask it again. What is the recommendation of the planning commission, assuming that this passes, to give you guys 6 months? How is that gonna be communicated to those applications that come in?
That's Luke's job.
So,
It's gonna require the applicant to rezone the property instead of.
Excuse me, let's, please, y'all.
I'm talking to just Luke, I don't need anybody else but Luke.
Well, they can be.
I'm talking to just Luke, I don't need anybody else.
Ma'am, please.
So, Luke, there's still a process that they can go through.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Okay.
And this is for new proposed commercial uses.
New.
Brand spanking new.
Brand new, not in operation, so if I have a business and I'm expanding business, don't gotta come here. Okay, brand new, so, cause everybody knows I'm all for new business and new revenue and all that kind of stuff, so that's my biggest concern. Is if we stop it for 6 months, that is a little concerning. I have just a few other questions, if I could. What part of the county is already zoned C1 that this could potentially affect?
So, when they drafted the resolution and made the map, I think a lot of it was due to, I'm sorry, oh, wait. A lot of properties were already zoned commercial once the adoption of the resolution, because they already had an active business. So we went ahead and grandfathered them in, they were zoned commercial. Some of it, like I said, it's on density, population density, so the closer you get to town, there's more commercial, zone parcels. Major intersections, a lot of times all 4 parcels on the corners will be zoned commercial. So really, this amendment is only for commercial, in a A1. So if somebody already had a commercial zone property, they could do it. If they had an I1 zone property, they could do it. If it's in a residential district, they would apply for a special exception. This is just for agricultural land. So if they wanted to run a business in R1, commercial enterprise, a hair salon, they can still get a special exception.
I have another question for you. So, understanding you guys need time to review this and make sure we're in compliance with state law. In order to not put 6 months on there, how soon in advance do you guys get, these requests that maybe don't fall under the special exception? I guess I'm just trying to think of a way that you could do some research and, not tell them no, hey, we're under 6 months, we're gonna come back, something like that. Would there be enough time on a case-by-case basis?
I can certainly tell them that we're working on criteria and we're working as fast as we can. If they want to hold off, apply for a special exception, they certainly can. And I've said this too, if this amendment doesn't pass this season, we're still gonna work the criteria.
We are in compliance.
We're still gonna work on criteria, and we're still gonna come back, whether it be 6 months or sooner, and have this criteria in place for special exceptions and allow people to start playing.
So the other question I have is, from what I understand, before this law went into place, and I'm not sure who can answer better, Ms. Wyland or Luke, is that before this went into place, you could take public comment into consideration as a reason to deny that. If they had concerns about traffic, let's say, then you could take that and deny that. But with this new law, you can't take that into consideration unless it says, it violates safety and some other things like that. Okay, and that's what you guys are essentially wanting to do, is you want to be able to listen to those public things.
Yeah, and it's not just, if we're not taking health, safety, or quality of living, that can no longer be a reason to deny something. that's why we have to have the objectives in the resolution that say, okay, if you're coming to us with the event thing, that this is what you need. And it's not usually county regulations, it's usually state regulations.
So, thank you for that. So you're wanting, and we have the leeway with this new law, you're wanting to get back to where you guys have some, way to consider those things, especially when the public speaks up on those, where it would affect quality of living, as you mentioned.
Yes, and what I said at the very beginning, and I know that this has been a lot, is that in the statute, it requires the governing body, which is the planning commission and the county commission, to take into consideration health, safety, and all the things that I read. Okay, that is still in the statute, but when it comes to the zoning board, we cannot do that now. You know, statutorily, you're supposed to do it, we can't do it for you. And we can't look at that until the objectives are outlined. I know it's backwards, I understand that, and it's ugly, and it's too complicated, but it is, in all the counties across the entire state that have zoning are doing it. Have to do this.
You got any more questions, Mr. Anderson? Commissioner George?
Lived in Cannon County all my life, 78-year-old. I'm probably the oldest commissioner on this board, maybe Mr. Mears may be older than me, I'm not sure. Like I said, I was born here, I was raised here, I will die here. I fought for this country to keep it free as we can. I can't believe that I sit here tonight and being asked to vote on whether or not you can do or not do with your property. Thank you. That I'm being asked to vote on whether or not you can live in the single wide trailer. In the history of Cannon County, a single wide trailer next to a $400,000 home will not change the taxes or the value of the property in any way. Why are we here?
Socialism.
People,
Okay, folks.
people should be able to do what they want to with it. If I want to sell tomatoes off my front porch, then that should be my decision, not somebody else.
Yes.
So that's how I feel.
Anyone else? Please, y'all, please, let us stay in order here, please. Pretty please. Sugar on top.
Question,
Yes.
question.
I was calling for a question. Do I have a second to that?
Second.
Got a second? I call roll. Let's call roll on that question.
Nathan Sanders.
Takes it from debate right to vote.
Can you repeat the motion, please? We have a question here of what the actual motion was.
Commissioner Mears is calling for the question. He's calling to take it from the debate to a vote.
No.
Judy Shawn.
I don't know what we're voting on.
We're voting on the question, Judy. Commissioner Mears has called for the question. When he called for the question, it takes it with a second, and if y'all vote for it, it takes it out of debate, right to vote.
No. Chris Singleton.
Yes.
Marty Williams.
Yeah.
Curtis George.
Got my doubts on which way this is gonna go, I abstain.
Eddie Mears.
Yes.
Randy Gannon.
Yes.
Priscilla Alexander.
I pass.
Tony Burnett.
Yes.
Yeah. 4 against. Motion passes. Call for the question. So we'll go right to the vote. Wayne, call the roll, please.
Please repeat the motion.
The motion is call for the question.
No.
No, we done done that.
The original motion.
To table 60 days.
The table is the motion.
For 60
The
days.
table, the motion is the table.
And have the
60
planning
days.
commission resubmit their resolution in a more detailed manner.
Okay.
All right, so we move to the question. Call the roll, please.
Nathan Sanders,
Yes.
Judy Shawn,
Yes.
Chris Singleton,
Yes.
Marty Williams,
Yes.
Curtis George,
Same.
Eddie Mears,
No.
Randy Gannon,
Yes.
Crystal Alexander,
Yes.
Tony Burnett,
Yes.
7-2.
Motion passes. Number 13. Consideration of amendment to the zoning resolution to allow single-wide mobile homes in A1 agriculture zoning districts. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, do I have a second?
Second.
I got a second, any discussion?
I would like to state on this, I know that Luke back here said we would have to determine the age limits and that, for that. All I ask on that, because Mr. George over here brought it up, and it's been in my mind as well, that any single wides that are put in moving forward, just that there is no age limit, I don't want an age limit on it, just that they are up to current building codes. Because being a first responder and responding to these types of calls, when you go in these mobile homes, they are dangerous. Doesn't matter if it's single wide, double wide, triple wide, manufactured, none of that matters. If they are not up to current building code, it is dangerous for the people going in them when they catch on fire.
That's your motion.
Yes.
Do I have a second for that? 87. Okay. Got a second, any discussion?
Luke,
Yes, sir.
with this, do these folks have to come to your office with, like, for septic, water, whatever? So, it's just,
No, sir, I mean, manufacturer's gonna inspect it. They're gonna get their septic permit from TDEC, they're gonna inspect the tank. Electrical permit's gonna run through the state fire marshal's office, so there would be no reason not for them to be in my office. This takes us out of the situation. Beforehand, they generally apply for a special exception first.
have any been denied?
There has never been a single wide mobile home denied in an A1 agricultural district. Now, the composition of the board and zoning appeals will change one day. So that's the amendment is good because the composition could change. Yeah, I mean, there's been one denied in a residential district, but none in an A1 zone.
So by not going through your office, we'll bring up a dirty initials here. The AFT, you would, nothing that, right? By going through your office, you know what's going in or whatever.
It's based on heated square footage, so we catch it as the building permit. If there's no building permit, then technically we don't catch it.
Do they have to have a building permit to put traffic? They don't. Okay.
And I'll say this too, it looks like y'all may vote it in, but if you choose not to, maybe lowering the fee, if you're gonna require a special exception, I think it may be a good idea to lower the fee. I gotta run 2 ads in the paper, they're $49.50 a piece. So if you just charge the special $100, cover the advertisement, that would be good, if you decide to go that route.
That would be really Is that something we can request of the planning commission or BZA, or the BZA and planning commission
You
can go
would
ahead,
request.
include that in and come back with that?
That's right, you would suggest a recommendation from the planning commission to amend the fee schedule for special exceptions for single wide trailers.
Right.
That's if you choose to still require special exceptions.
You wanna? Yes.
So, my understanding, person wanting a single wide is gonna avoid the taxes that somebody building a home.
It's based on heated square footage. So the real way to go about it would be, because they're not gonna win, the real way to go about it would be to catch it on if they apply for a 911 address. For a single wide, because a lot of times they put single wide trailer in the description, and then at that point, we would pursue the applicant facilities tax since it's adding heated square footage to the
If I understood you right, we haven't defined any,
We have not declined a single wide trailer in our zone.
so what are we doing? Like, I guess,
We're making it where people don't have to go ask permission to put a single wide on a piece of property.
but none have been denied, so it's.
But they still have to go pay the fee and ask permission. And then it's up to an arbitrary board whether somebody can put a single wide home on land that they own.
Yeah.
Like right now, you don't have to ask nobody permission to go put a camper trailer on a piece of property. So why would you have to do that for a single wide mobile home? You don't have to do it for a double wide. You don't have to do it for a triple wide. You have to do it for a single wide. That's singling out a group of people that can't afford or choose not to buy a bigger home. So why are we requiring people to ask permission to put a home on property when we don't require it for anything else? You're not required to ask permission to build a house on the land you own. So why are we asking permission to put a mobile home, put a single wide mobile home? There's no difference in the single wide mobile home than any other house in this county. Other than it's labeled a single wide.
All right, anyone else? Call the roll.
Nathan Sanders,
Yes.
Judy Shawn,
Yes.
Chris Singleton,
Yes.
Marty Williams,
Yes.
Curtis George,
Yes.
Eddie Mears.
Yes.
Randy Gannon,
Yes.
Crystal Alexander,
Yes.
Tony Burnett.
Yes.
Motion passes. Takes us to number 14, consideration resolution adopting TCA 67-5-705 for Cannon County to establish a property tax freeze program for eligible senior citizens. And I would like to ask the commission before we get started, if you would suspend the rules, please, because I didn't put on here, about our trustees would like to address and see tax.
So moved.
So moved. Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed. I apologize for the AC in here, it's supposed to be worked on. I know that don't help. If we could please stay in order. All right.
Till your office is not here, is
Take
it?
5 minute recess.
That's a good
5 minute
idea.
recess, please.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Y'all do permits for It's been a big deal for us in our city, limited the permits. And so there was one group that kind of had a monopoly. Now they really have a monopoly. They sleep in those tents. Their kids out there.
Mr. Griffin, how you doing? Good. Really good, man. Good to see You've been busy for us,
All right, let's call the meeting back into order. Call the meeting back into order, please. Please, everyone. All right. Now, if it please the commission, if it's okay with y'all, I'm gonna let our trustee address it. Is that okay? Everybody good with that, y'all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we all know I was here last month and tried to give you as much information as I could. And we showed you that, Angela, the property assessor, has helped with the comptroller's office and CPAS, and that someone would be here from there. So we do have someone from CPAS tonight, but before we do that, I just wanted to go over what I had sent to you all. It has the new 2026 property tax relief brochure, which has the new, income limit on the inside. That shows, who would qualify and what the income limits are. That is for 2026 property taxes. This is the property tax relief program that the state of Tennessee does. Our office takes it in and we send it to the state for approval. And, this past year, if you were elderly and you qualified, you got $107. If you were a disabled veteran, you got $574. In 2022, the legislative body decided to adopt a supplement. And it was voted to do $100 extra to everyone who qualified. Elderly, disabled, and, disabled veteran, and spouse of the disabled veteran. So, I think you did that in place of the tax freeze program. That was what was brought up in 2022, and you thought that this was a better thing to do. So what I did, the assessor and myself went back and took 4 tax payments. And if you will look at this sheet that I gave you, it has 4 taxpayers on it. And in that first row, you'll see what the appraised values on the homes are. And they range from $279,000 to $121,000. It shows in the next line what they property taxes were for 23, 24, and 25. So taxpayer one, in 3 years, their taxes went up $71. But the county legislative body voted to give $100 each year. So that taxpayer got a $300 credit toward their taxes. If the taxes had been froze that year, that taxpayer would have saved $71. But instead, the $71 was paid for them by the county, and they got $229 more toward the property taxes. So, taxpayer 2, 3, and 4, it shows the exact information on those. So that way you can see, if you had froze the taxes, what they would have saved and what they actually saved with getting that $100 per year. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Ms. Knox?
Yes.
I have a question. So that $229, just to clarify, went towards their total tax bill? for that
Each year they got $100
Each
year,
year, they got $100 from the 107.
plus the 107 from the state of Tennessee.
Okay, that's my next question.
But this past year it was 107, and the year before that, I can't remember what it was, maybe 121, 129. I think you're right, Curtis. And the year before that, I couldn't tell you.
Sure, but again, to clarify, they got this amount plus the
The
state
state amount.
allocation, or supplement.
Mhm.
Good with that, okay. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions?
How was the tax freeze affect what's going on right now?
Okay, I'm gonna let Angela and
Yeah.
Joe.
This is Mr. Joe Griffin from CTAS.
And I sent all of y'all the information sheet he's gonna go over with you. It compares the two programs, I believe.
I work for the University of Tennessee CTAS, and prior to that, I worked for the Comptroller of the Treasury, and I was in that office when this legislation passed. Ryan Duggan was supposed to be here with us tonight, but he is unavailable. But I didn't bring my presentation. I've got his sheets, so that's the way you can have both of us here without having him here. Really, I want to describe the difference of the processes of the tax freeze and the tax relief. I'm not here to sway you one way or the other. I'm gonna put facts out here, and some of the facts are that a lot of programs the state puts in place, it sounds great, they vote for it, and then they push the money problem down to the county to figure out how to implement it. Tax relief is not one of those. Tax relief, which is already in place in the county, been there for several years, it's handled by the comptroller's office. It's funded by the state fully. Like Norma said, she gets the information and applications in, she sends it to the state. It goes into a room that is down a coded hallway, another coded entrance into their main office, and a coded area into their computer room where 8 people sit 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, approving these applications from all over the state. They know what to look for. They can smell when somebody's not giving them all the information. That's all they do. And if there is a problem with it, it gets blamed up on the state level and fixed on the state level, and it costs the county nothing, okay? The difference with the tax freeze, when they implemented that in 2007, I voted for it, and I'm sure everybody in this room that was eligible to vote then voted for it, because it just said, pick property owners 65 and older, get their tax frozen when they turn 65. That sounded great. I'm thinking of my mom, my brother at the time that was getting fairly close to that, my aunt, all these people that I know that I wanted to help. But when it was put into place, there were some rules put in that nobody was anticipating, including the comptroller, till after it was in place. And that's on your differences sheet back here on the back. First of all, it's county supported. It's all county funded. What does that mean? Well, let's say half this room is 65 and older and they qualify, and half the room is not. First of all, the taxes on a tax freeze, the only time the program is helpful is if there is a tax increase. So in years where there's not a tax increase, you have to come down to the courthouse, you fill out this paperwork, and it's all for naught. But on a year that they do put a tax increase in, half the room that's frozen is frozen, and the other half of the room have to pick up that burden. What I mean is, let's say the county commission needs a nickel on the tax rate. So you do the math and you do the amount of people in the entire county and you say, okay, we need a nickel. And then you realize, oh, we've got half the room frozen. So the other half of the room has to pick up the rest of that. So this side of the room pays nothing. This side of the room gets a dime tax increase. That's the local funding of it. That's the part that becomes a problem. The tax relief is available in all jurisdictions. It has a limit. They've been culled by the state. Those are your lowest common denominator folks who are barely holding on to their house. And y'all are doing an excellent job by matching what tax relief has already given them, because you're keeping your lowest owners in place. The other issue you have here, and it was mentioned earlier in one of the public comments, $37,530 is the income for tax relief. For tax freeze, they use the median income in your county. And right now, your median income is around $37,800 or $38,000. So you're about $400 difference from where the tax relief is. So if you just adopted the basic tax freeze, you're not going to really give that much more relief to that many more people if it's just a $400 increase. There is a local option to increase it up to 60,000. It's actually 60. I think this is old. It's around 63,000 because it gets an increase every year. It started at 60 and every year they go up a percentage. So it would be a $63,000 income limit. So that's more than double what the average is. That's why I used the half the room example. One thing that we have in this state, and a lot of people who've moved here don't fully understand, especially if they haven't been through a reappraisal, is when we raise values at a reappraisal, it goes from maybe 400, let's say, to 500. You know, oh my gosh, my taxes are going up 25%. Well, we have a revenue neutral rate called a certified tax rate that is mandated at every reappraisal. It's provided by the State Board of Equalization, and it guarantees that the county will bring in the same revenue as it did the year before, minus their new construction. So the county still gets to see growth. But what that means for you as a property owner, your taxes are gonna be about the same as they were last year, even though your value went up. That's the difference we have in our tax system. We have a very good tax system in Tennessee. We've got some neighboring states that don't have this. And property owners from Alabama and from Mississippi, when they come here, they can't believe that we've got this revenue neutral rate because we cannot see windfalls from reappraisals. It's not a time to make money. It's just a time to get the values at market value. That's all the assessor does. And then the governing body votes in the tax rate and the trustee collects the taxes. It's separation of powers by doing that. So, say all that to say, on the tax freeze, because of the unknown of how many people you're gonna have on it, you really can't budget till you had it in place, let's say. And they have to apply every year. If you have a farm, your first, basically the home site on your property record card, or 5 acres is the most that can be frozen. The rest of it would be unfrozen and would be susceptible to tax increases. Same goes for residential. If you have 7 acres, the first 5 acres is frozen, the other 2 are not. They'll try to include all the buildings in the frozen part. It gets real complicated. We had a lot of time trying to build spreadsheets, trying to figure out how to keep up with this. Because not only do you have to apply every year, but they give you 18 months. So at any given time after this program gets rolling, when somebody comes in, first of all, they're gonna talk to Norma or somebody in her office, because she and her staff will be the ones approving the incomes. It's not done in Nashville by people who don't know the people. It's really hard to sit in front of somebody and tell them that they do or don't qualify for this. I feel like that shouldn't be on the local level, but that's just an opinion. The other side of it is, when they come in to apply, she has to ask them for what year are they applying. Because it could be for last year, because like I said, 18 months. Could be for this year, could be for next year. It is, the spreadsheet is ridiculously long. It's got more macros in it than I've ever seen in an Excel sheet, just to keep up with where this information is. And of course, you want to be able to meet with the people. She doesn't have a closed door office inside her office. And if I come in to talk about my property and my finances, I want to have a place where I can sit down. I also want to have a lot of time with that person in her office. So this is probably going to create a need for more people in her office. My job is to consult for the assessor of property, but when it comes to tax freeze, I want to put it all on the table about what the trustee is responsible for. There will be things Angela has to do too, but I think she can do it okay. There'll be some extra work, but the real work is going to be in the trustee's office. You're probably going to have to get her a vault because she's going to have income statements that she has to keep record of for a period of time. And you don't want that susceptible to somebody being able to grab it, because that's got social security numbers, it's got bank accounts, it's got information people don't want out. And so when you think about all of that, that's where you have to decide on the tax freeze. Y'all are already doing better than more than half the counties in this state by actually adding on to the tax relief. We have a lot of counties that don't do that. They can't afford to do that. And I applaud y'all, like I said, for doing it. And the ones that do it, it really helps those people, because in the counties that aren't doing it on the tax relief, they're having to choose between medicine and paying their taxes. And that's not a good place to be. And I'm all for the elderly. I'm 3 years from it myself, you know, but at the same time, I don't want my kids to have to pay my taxes. And that's basically where that's going. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
So we're basically giving more, a lot more, under what we're doing now than we would in the tax freeze.
I won't say you're doing it, because on the tax freeze, if somebody has, you know, a large house and a low income, they could save a lot. The problem we had in the beginning is people would, it started in Williamson County, they were the first one to adopt it. They had people they had a wife that worked and a husband that stayed at home or vice versa, and they would quit claim all the property to the spouse. And that way they didn't have an income, so they were getting tax free. So we had some multi-million-dollar homes in Williamson County on tax free. So they finally corrected that it's total household income. Here's some 2 numbers I failed to give, and it'll take me but a second. It was incepted in 2007. Since then, we've had 27 counties adopt tax freeze. The majority of those were done right when it was adopted. We've had 2 or 3 since. We only have 35 cities in the entire state. That's the other thing. If the county adopts it and you had a city tax rate, the city would also either want to or not want to adopt it. So you could have frozen county taxes and unfrozen city taxes. And you're saying, no, nobody would do that. The city of Chattanooga is frozen and Hamilton County is not. And you talk about confusion when people go to pay their tax bill, they forget which one is frozen and which one's not. It's very confusing. The math doesn't math on this because it comes down to each county has to put up the money and fund the program, either through additional staff or just additional renovations to the courthouse to make it more like a bank.
Have any questions?
I do. So, right now, we're doing the relief. If we did the freeze, can we additionally do the relief as well, or does the relief go away?
No, they're individual.
Yeah.
So it's one or the other.
No, you
No,
can do
you
both.
can
You can do
continue.
both,
You
okay.
can do both.
You can do all 3.
You can do, well, they're already,
And
they're already
here's,
getting 2.
Okay.
let's muddy the water more. Everybody that qualifies for tax relief will qualify for tax freeze. Not everybody on tax freeze would get tax relief.
Yeah, I was noticing that here in your paper, that if we did the tax freeze, it's only low-income elderly, but the relief does the elderly, low-income disability, disabled veterans, and surviving spouses.
You're gonna have the relief whether you do anything with tax freeze or not.
The relief is the state program.
Okay.
And that's the thing, you know, having somebody that looks at these every day and that's all they do and cull through them, you get a lot of confidence in their answer of whether they qualify or not. And if we open it up right now and let's say everybody in this room is 60 and we run down to Norman's and we start filling out applications, we don't know what we're supposed to bring. It's our first time. And you have to have these folks that know what they're doing and know what they're looking for. Because I might not bring a bank account or something that I don't really realize or think is income, but it might be some type of 401k that I'm getting a good interest on that would actually make me not qualify. I don't bring it, I get on the program, and it gets out that she's giving favors to me because, you know, everybody knows that I've got all this bank account money. How did he get on it? Because we didn't. I think it's an unfair burden for an elected official who's not an accountant, who's not a CPA, to have to do this. The ones in Nashville that are doing this, they're qualified for it.
With that, it's, say they did have $1 million in the bank. It's when they take money from it that it's called. So that, they could have $1 million in the bank, as long as they don't touch that, they qualify.
That's right. That's right. It's all on household income. So if they, like you said, if they draw from it, then
It'll
yes.
show up.
Yes.
Norm, I have another question. So this goes to the eligibility. The program that our county currently does. Is this only low-income elderly, or do we do for the disabled, the veterans, spouses? How does this program?
We do every one.
So every one of those gets this, whereas if we adopt a tax freeze,
It would only be the elderly that qualify, meet the
Qualify.
criteria.
Yeah.
Yes. Although when the county legislative body voted to do the $100, they not only gave it to the elderly and, the disabled, they also gave it to the veterans.
So if you do the tax break, somebody might not qualify that does.
Right, you may have somebody, well, if they're veterans, they're only gonna get the tax relief,
No.
but not the tax.
Right.
Question, could you clarify, bottom of page 1, taxes are frozen, not appraisal, assessment, or tax rate? So, in a reappraisal year?
Their value still changes.
Yes, their value changes, but their taxes are frozen. And so if you have a reappraisal, values go way up, their value will go up. The certified rate will come in that I just mentioned. If that makes their taxes lower than they were the previous year, it will take the lower number. So it would adjust it, yeah, it would change.
And we
Or if
actually
it
looked at
went
it.
up, yeah, if it went up, it will not go up.
It will not go
It'll stay the
up,
same.
it would stay, but we
Yeah,
actually
they-
looked
they
at
came
one
up.
scenario where during reappraisal year, their taxes actually did go down. So it would have dropped lower.
But you still get the benefit. Just because you're frozen
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're not gonna be, we're always gonna try to err on the side of the property owner.
So when it drops in a reappraisal year, say it was $900, in a reappraisal year, it goes to 800, are they frozen at that point moving forward? Although they were frozen at 900 before?
That's right.
Okay.
The certified rate automatically gives them the benefit of a reduction.
And the income level has gone up a little bit on this, tax relief, and it from 37,530 to 38,470.
Yes, we just got the new pamphlet just a few days ago.
And that's a pool of money. That's why you were talking about the different variances. We've got a lot more people pulling from it now, and there's been a big push to throw more money into tax relief to help offset that and get we used to give more money when we had, less burden. Now we got more burden and less money, and so I know that's been a thing the comptroller is trying to fight for, to get more funding for that.
Is that dollar value set with the state?
Yes.
I have another question for Angela and Norman. And it's because I've been asked the question, and I've had a dozen emails over this. Y'all please clarify that this has to be reapplied for. This is not a one and done, and that this does not erase paying your property taxes. I've had people reach out thinking this tax freeze will make it where they do not have to pay their property taxes anymore.
We have had multiple phone calls though, saying, I want my property tax frozen, and I said, well, we don't have that. And they're like, yes, they adopted it, and I want mine frozen, because I don't wanna pay taxes anymore, and I said, that's not how the program would work.
Or I have had people say, I no longer owe taxes, right, because I'm 65, and that is not true.
Yeah, I've had a couple emails on that, and I just wanted to vocalize that this does not erase paying property taxes, and you have to qualify, and you have to reapply for this stuff every year. This isn't, I'm gonna come in today and apply, and I don't ever have to mess with this again.
Facebook struck again on that one.
Yes.
There was a bill out there to erase property taxes from 65 and older, and it didn't make it out of the first committee meeting, but social media ran with, oh, this is gonna pass, this is gonna do its thing. Also, if you fail to reapply, I know she would do every effort to try to get you down there, but let's just say for whatever reason you don't reapply, then it becomes unfrozen, goes up to what it should be for that year, and then when you freeze it again, you're frozen at that new level, you've lost your benefit.
If you had anything like a 401, something that you could go interest on.
No, I'm sorry, but it's,
Oh.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Any income earned from, 401Ks, annuities, anything like that, that counts as earned income. And it's not just what you're drawing off for Social Security or retirement, correct?
Yeah, anything you're earning and drawing.
What I tell people, because they get very confused on it, whatever you get in your hand that you can go down the road and spend. But if you sell like a mobile home, or if you sell cattle or anything like that, that is also income that you earn.
And people don't realize that. They just think about their social security and things. And there's a lot of people that won't qualify. There's a lot that will if you go to the 60,000.
Back to the clarifying question you guys said earlier. Under either program, tax relief or tax free, they have to reapply each year. So it may qualify one year and it may not qualify the next, or vice versa.
Right.
Under either program, because again, that's, I think, it's
And when we have someone that does not show up at the end of the tax season, we have 3 drawers full of applications. It winds up to like 25 that don't show up. We do everything we can to find them. We will go to their house, if they're shut in, and get their information, whatever we have to do.
And I'm sure that's not a requirement of this program at all. That's something you and your staff do.
Yes, if you are in the nursing home, you can continue to keep your tax relief. Used to be you could not, now you can. So if they're in the nursing home, we go to the nursing home and help them with that.
Again, because we're a small county, you and your staff take that upon yourself to do that.
I don't have many counties that do that.
I was gonna ask, can you speak to that? I have another question. If I'm looking at this right, under the tax relief, this says that disabled veterans qualify and there's no income limit,
That's right.
but I don't see that under tax freeze.
Because it only
They can't
applies to the
qualify.
elderly.
Okay, so tax relief helps our veterans and their spouses.
Surviving spouse.
Surviving spouse, okay. And with, again, no income limit, am I understanding that right? So the surviving spouse comes to Norma's office and they're at, 72,000. Doesn't matter,
Doesn't
they
matter if
qualify.
they make $200,000 a year, and they're a disabled veteran, 100%, service connected. Yeah.
But tax freeze, that goes out the window.
It only goes to the elderly.
If we were to pass this tax rate, what kind of burden does that can put on your office?
Angela and I have talked about it, I've talked to other counties, there's just no way it would have to do, if we do the 30,000 or the 60,000. And there's just really no way, because we have no idea of knowing what the tax rate is gonna go up or down in a appraisal year. So,
But looking at counties that I know that have it, building her a closed door office and putting somebody in there pretty much full time, because you're gonna have 3 years of applications running all the time, because of the 18-month overlap. I'd say I could almost guarantee it would cause her to have another employee.
Full-time? Full-time.
I don't think so. Especially if you're doing the above and beyond, making sure that they're getting their paperwork done and things.
and then, just say someone comes in and I approve them, and then I find out 3 months later, they also got $40,000 from something else and they didn't report it to me. What happens then?
Yeah, that's on you. That's what I don't like about the program, is it the local elected officials, get the burden of that. Now,
I mean, right now with tax relief, people just forget, like, they can't remember. We had a couple one time and we thought they qualified, well, then I found out they sold a house. And we had to count that income, and they got mad at me for that, but I didn't have a choice, I had to report it.
but again, every dollar from tax relief comes from the state. It doesn't affect the county, except for your match.
And tax freeze
In
is gonna
tax-
be on us.
Tax freeze is 100% on the county.
And Norma, the program that we currently do, the amount that is set, is that something the commission can change?
Yes.
Can it be revisited every year to be changed? if there is
think
a,
so.
if
I
we
don't
have,
think so. Do you know, Joe?
if we have one of these crazy years where we're gonna have to build a jail or a school or something, you know, that people talk about, and the taxes go way up, could the relief be from our county end be changed to kind of resolve that issue?
Let me give you an example of what happened in Williamson County. They had to do a tax increase. And that 1 year, because of the tax increase, they increased their relief match. Of course, it's the richest county in the state, but they made it to where none of them had a tax bill. They voted it in, they put the money over there. I know that's a different world, that's monopoly money over there. But, you know, I'm saying as an example, yes, you could do that and do it from then forward, or do it until the next increase, however you want to do it.
And in this past tax year, Diane, I think we budgeted 30,000 and we went over $600 and had a budget amendment for that because we had a little over 300 people that qualified for the program this year. Every year we'll have 10 or 15 who pass away or move, but then we always add 10 or 15 more.
So we're averaging close to that 300 range.
So actually, at some point, that could increase
Oh, yeah.
as far
And
we decide what.
the unknown is the tax freeze if you did the 60,000, because we don't have any way to look at people's age and income on a flow chart or Google or something. You just wait till the application's in to see, you know, what the effect would be if you did have to raise taxes. Like I said, they do all this paperwork for 3 years and you don't raise taxes, all that was for naught. You've had people calling income and turning in paperwork, and it was for nothing because there wasn't a tax increase to create the tax freeze effect.
The local stuff that we do here in the county is the income based off of the same as the tax relief income, or what income are y'all basing that off of to give the bill qualify for that?
The state gives it to us and it's
Okay.
in this,
It's the same.
pamphlet. They tell us what the income limit is every year when we do that. So we sit down with each one of those people. We have to meet with them so we can prove that they are alive. And we have to collect all their information from any income that they got, we make copies of it, send it to the state,
And the state sets the level and then
approves it.
approves the level, and then us as a commission, for our relief locally, we can control that.
Yes.
Whether it's $100 or $300.
Yes.
And that can be revisited every single year, whether there's a tax increase or not.
Yes.
And remember, on tax freeze, it's household income. So if you've got grandbabies living with you that are working, or you got your kids living there, that's all part of it. Now, that's only in your primary residence, but anybody living in that primary residence, their income's gonna be counted.
Or whose ever name is on the deed. So if there's a husband and wife and the husband left 5 years ago and she comes in and she wants to qualify and his name is on the deed, we still have to have both incomes. And she doesn't know where he is, but we still have to have that income. Or she doesn't qualify.
Question. Call the question.
Second.
Got a second? Call the roll.
Nathan Sanders,
On the question.
Voting on the question? No.
Judy Shawn.
No.
Chris Singleton,
Yes.
Marty Williams,
Yes.
Curtis George,
Yes.
Eddie Mears,
Yes.
Randy Gannon,
Yes.
Crystal Alexander,
Yes.
Tony Burnett.
Yes. Now, I might back up here, Glenn.
Yeah.
Might back up here. Because I don't think it was a motion made.
Hey, man.
So we weren't even in a discussion, then we would suspended the rules
Yeah.
for them for information.
Yeah. I need a motion first. Sorry. Commissioner. Okay. I need a motion to, adopt the property tax rate. Do I have that motion? You know, I was gonna make a motion tonight not to do this because we're in a, election year. And I just felt like that, it wouldn't be favorable to do this. The timing is not correct. Because of, the person that initially brought this to the commission is running as a commissioner in the first district. Well, there's two other people that's running for commissioner in that district as well. So I just felt like that, the timing of this was just not right.
Would you make a motion not to approve?
So however, based on the public comments we've had tonight and the way people feel about this, I'll make a motion that we, as a county, establish a property tax freeze for eligible senior citizens.
You're making a motion to approve.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second? Second. Do I have a second? Commissioner Jones? Any discussion?
I would like to say that based on the information we've been given tonight, I don't think the property tax freeze benefits our county citizens more than what our county government is currently doing and has the ability to do. If we have the ability to change every year, no matter what the taxes are, how much people get a relief, then I think that benefits way more than a freeze. I think if we can give somebody $100 relief and over a course of 3 years, they've received $300 of savings versus $71 of savings. Well, that right there, that shows that our program works. And like I made my statement earlier, on these big tax years that are gonna come, of a school or a jail, or whatever has to be done, we can offset that for the people that need it the most. So that's all I've got to say about it. I think our county does above and beyond what this program offers, even though the wording of this program makes it sound better than it is. I think the wording of this program has got misinformed a lot.
Got anybody else? Yes.
I have a question, and I'm not sure who the best one to answer this is, but talking about the budget, I know we just passed it, and so the budget committee probably wants some relief. If I heard Ms. Warner right, you said about how many are on the program?
A little over 300.
A little over 300. We really have no way of knowing how many would qualify for tax freeze.
It would, be according to what the limit was,
Okay.
the 60,000 or the 30.
So let's use that 300 and say they qualify for the tax freeze. We're asking the rest of the taxpayers in Cannon County, which according to Google, I know it's not accurate, so if somebody has a better accurate number, 60% of the population to cover the taxes.
Anyone? Got a motion and second to approve tax freeze. Call the vote, please.
Nathan Sanders,
No.
Judy Shawn,
I can't see approving this where you're, freezing one person's taxes and maybe another elderly person wouldn't qualify, but their taxes are going up to pay for the person you froze. And young people have to pay more too. So my vote is no.
Chris Singleton,
I'm gonna vote no, because our county can do more for seniors than the state program can. Also, our taxes didn't go up this year, and you've got a new commission coming in. So, to me, this was a tactic to just cause disruption. This was not truly trying to benefit our seniors. Our county benefits them and can continue to do that. So my vote is no.
Marty Williams,
I'm gonna also vote no. Figure what Chris said, I feel like we're doing more than this program can. And, with additional office help we would need, looks like me, a nightmare. So, I vote yes.
Curtis George.
No.
I'm sorry. No.
What was your vote, Kurt?
No.
No.
Eddie Mears,
Yes.
Randy Gannon,
No.
Crystal Alexander,
No.
Tony Burnett.
No.
Motion fails. Next item, and the last one, Thank y'all so much. Thank you, sir. Come. Next item is I need I'll accept the motion to change the August meeting from 6th to 13th. So make a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? And I'll have 17, so that is it. Adjourn.
Diane, don't we?
She don't have any amendments.
I know, because we're not, we won't be finished with this now here until.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Second, Commissioner George, all in favor, aye? All opposed?
Just got a question.
Harriet.